Hey boys, welcome back to some more Fan Hub action here, and this time we have the man himself, JT, on the front. And Jesus, I need to get the controller. Fuck. Okay, I got the controller was on the ground. I honestly forgot all about having to need the controller. I'm like, oh, you just use a keyboard and mouse, but unfortunately, can't be done. It's weird though, because like last year, well not last year, for Rugby League Live 3. For the Fan Hub, anyway, you could use the keyboard and mouse, but I think obviously for the game, like you couldn't use a keyboard and mouse, but this time they just, I don't know, made so you need to use a controller. But you know, we're up to the Melbourne Storm, who are 83 rated overall, so you know, like I said, there's really not much difference between the teams. A couple, you know, the Knights are definitely a lot lower, which makes sense. But first off here, we have Billy Slade. I actually want to zoom in on this one. If it'll load up. Billy, where are you? There you are. It does look really good. It actually makes him look, maybe look a little bit older than what he is, as the screen is like flickering deluxe when I zoom in like that. So we're not going to zoom in. I don't know why it's flickering a bit at the back there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's done that before, but we'll keep going here. But yeah, Billy Slater, obviously he's back. He's back to his best, honestly. 86 overall, you know, sprint speed. I think his speed, I mean, Billy Slater probably, acceleration probably more noteworthy than his speed. I mean, he's fast, but he's one of those guys that just change directions crazy quick. Then we got Addo Carr, sprint speed 98. Makes sense. I mean, he probably should have 99 sprint speed, but you know, that's fine. We'll see how it translates in games. And I've said it before, but you know, you can always change these stats if you really want to. And they're probably not final. They will be finalized and all that. Chase Blair not wearing the long sleeves, so long sleeve jerseys probably aren't going to be in the game as an option, which, you know, some people might be a bit annoyed. It's a bit of a, you know, one of those little tiny details. Someone like a Chase Blair always wears the long sleeves, but I personally don't really care too much. But yeah, it seems like maybe not. Will Chambers now. Excellent likeness. Remember seeing this in the Queensland or the Origin teaser, and yeah, a lot of those Queensland players, or all the players, honestly, amazing. Vunivalu, I was just seeing there, I thought Vunivalu was actually rated higher than Chambers, but obviously Vunivalu, a quality player as well. And, you know, very, very good. We got to see him in that contested catch. Looked nice. Cameron Munster here, potentially making his Origin debut. I would not be surprised if he does. Just a good, like, Cameron Munster, he's going to be a Queensland player. What position? I don't know, honestly. I mean, he could play fullback, centre, in the halves, or he could just be that utility. He's just such a good player, honestly. Cooper Cronk now, again, 88 rated, so he's one of the highest. You know, this is probably one where people will be like, he probably should be in the 90s, but yeah, you know, we just gotta wait and see what changes are made. So just take that for how it is. Jordan Mclean there. I feel like the skin tone's a little dark. Like Jordan Mclean, yeah, he's definitely white, isn't he? Jordan Mclean in real life. I don't think I'm getting him confused. Obviously, sort of the other guy I'm thinking of is Sofa Solomona, but I think McLean's more white than that. But you know, Cameron Smith now 89 rated overall, and you know, he was one of the examples I gave when I talked about this before. That, I mean, the stats, like if you look at the stats there, they're all like good. Obviously sprint speed though is not going to be that high. Acceleration, you know, the acceleration is probably a bit higher than what he is, but it's probably like that just to make him actually a better player in the game. Jesse Bromwich here hasn't been very good this year. Obviously he's had the injury, he's had the drug incident, but other than that, like even just the games he's played, he's been pretty lacking compared to the other forwards. So we'll see if he comes good. Kenny Bromwich, just you know, you'd probably say Kenny Bromwich has been better out of the two this year, even though I've always thought Kenny is a solid player, but never really amazing. Tohu Harris now. I actually think, I've talked about the beards looking a bit funky, but his actually looks pretty good. I think it suits him because he's got like a lot of hair regardless, so I think it actually works alright for Tohu Harris there. Dale for Nukin. This one actually, I don't think that one's been face scanned. I don't know. Looking at that, I would say that's not face scanned. That doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't really look like him at all. So I don't know. Del Fanukin missed school that day, and he wasn't there for the face scans, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Then we got Tim Glasby on the bench here. There's a man I was talking about, Asafa Solomona. Just a giant of a man. He just massive. 83 overall. I think that's pretty fair. Like he's a good player. Christian Welsh, obviously out for the season with an injury, but he was looking pretty good as well. Like just a pretty handy player. Like he provided a really good X factor off the bench with the offloads and stuff. Felice Kafusi has been super impressive, just outstanding. Dean Britt, Brody Croft, the new Cooper Cronk coming through. Again, I don't know if that's face scanned in, but yeah, Brody Croft, he's an outstanding player. Curtis Scott, outstanding. The Melbourne Storm are gonna be in good hands. They've got some great players coming through. Tona Mapaya there, that mustache is unreal. But yeah, that's even like a Jerome Hughes. He's very young, looked very good. Nate Miles is on the... So this is very interesting, Nate Miles, because people have been talking about the... some teams have like changes already, like for next year even. So that's interesting. The Nines jerseys, I like the Nines jerseys. The Indigenous, the Women in League. I'm surprised every club doesn't have a Women in League jersey. It's actually a little surprising. And then the Heritage jersey. So that's the Melbourne Storm. Now we will move over to the Super League. And who did I do last time? I did Hull FC. So we're up to Leeds Rhinos. We'll get into these guys. They'll probably have a fair few old NRL players. I'll start off with Golding there at fullback. Tom Briscoe on the wing. Callum Watkins in the centres. Joel Moon, ex-Bronco, ex-Warrior. A good player, like a very solid player back in the Bronco days. You know, he did a good job at the Warriors as well, but I do remember fondly the Bronco days. He was very good. Ryan Hall, how old is he? He's only 29. I feel like Ryan Hall has been around for ages, dude. Sutcliffe in the halves. Rob Burrow, he must be old. Okay, yeah, 34. I thought, yeah, Burrow, he has definitely been around for a long time. Mitch Garbutt, I was actually a little bit disappointed to see Garbutt go to the Super League because I thought he was a forward that really could like go on and do a lot of good work in the NRL, but you know, went to the Super League for the opportunity and probably the money. But you know, Matt Parcell, another guy, like he's 85 rated, and that's probably pretty fair. Probably the highest rated Super League player I've seen. But yeah, if I was disappointed to see Garbutt go, I was very disappointed to see Matt Parcell leave. You know, he got a bit of a chance with the Seagulls there after his Queensland Cup stint with the Ipswich Jets. But yeah, he was a quality player. So I mean, I hope he comes back to the NRL, but you know, we'll see. Adam Cuthbertson, he's only 32. Like a lot of these guys, you think they've been around for so long, but he's only 32. I mean, that is that's old. Like not super old, but it is pretty old in rugby league sense. But Adam Cuthbertson, you know, former Seagull as well. He was one of those guys that had like really good games, and then other games were just fairly average. He could produce some magic stuff. Jamie Jones Buchanan, it's quality name. I like the name. Carl Abbott, Brad Singleton here. Stevie Ward, Jimmy Kinehurst, Malali, Malali. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But a few more guys. Brett Delaney, former. I know he played for the Titans. Who did he play? I think he played for the Sharks before that. But he was pretty good at the Titans. He was at the Titans like when they first came back in with the quality side of like the Rodgers and Luke Bailey and all them. Then we have Big Keith Galloway down here, 67 rated overall, pretty harsh. I gotta say, Keith Galloway. I mean he's not past it. I mean he's still a solid player. I think that's probably a bit low, 67. My God. Yeah, that's the team done and dusted. Let's look at the jerseys. They only have the home and away. Do the Super League actually have different, like, obviously the NRL, they have the Indigenous and obviously the Nines and then the Heritage. Does Super League actually have more than 2 jerseys and the game just doesn't have them in the game, or do they actually just have the two jerseys? Because I'm curious. I actually do not know. But yeah, that is this video done and dusted. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.